All right, let's talk about something we've all had to do. And let's be honest, something we all dread delivering bad news. It's filled with anxiety, right? For you, for the person you're telling. But what if there was a way to handle it with a little more grace, a little more skill? Today, we're going to explore how to turn one of life's toughest tasks into a moment that's actually, constructive.
I mean, of course you have. We've all been there. You get that knot in your stomach, you play the conversation over and over in your head. It's totally universal. You're just so worried about hurting their feelings, about how they're going to react, maybe even damaging a relationship. It's tough stuff. But here's the good news about the bad news. While the information itself might be set in stone, how we deliver it, that is completely in our control. You could say the packaging is just as important as what's inside. And to really get how we do that, we first need to look at this little tool our brains just instinctively grab for. And that tool is the euphemism. I mean, just think about how often we use these. We don't say someone died, we say they passed away. We don't say you're fired, it's we have to let you go. We naturally reach for these softer words to, well, soften the blow, to put a gentler costume on a really harsh truth. And that instinct, that's the foundation of our very first strategy.
Okay, so let's get practical. Our first tool in the toolbox is something called the sandwich effect. It's a classic for a reason, but, and this is a big but, it's absolutely crucial to know when to use it and, more importantly, when not to.
And right here, this is the key. The sandwich effect is your go-to for what the source material calls non-serious bad news. So we're not talking about breakups or huge life-altering events here. This is for stuff like telling a friend their new chili recipe is a little too spicy, or giving a coworker some feedback on a minor mistake. Low stakes.
The structure is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You've got two slices of good mood bread, and you tuck the bad news meat right in the middle. You kick things off with something positive. Then you deliver the tricky part, and then you wrap it all up on another positive note. It just cushions the information, making it way easier to digest.
So, how do you make that good mood bread? Well, it's all about setting a positive stage. You could invite them out for coffee, grab a bite to eat, or just wait for a moment when they're already in a good mood and feeling relaxed. The whole point is to create this little bubble of goodwill before you introduce the critique.
But what about when the news is actually serious? Like really serious? For the truly heavy stuff, the sandwich effect is the absolute wrong tool for the job. Trying to pretty it up can just feel fake or insincere. For those moments, you need a totally different approach, one that's designed to provide the softest landing. So again, context is everything. This strategy is reserved for what our source calls really bad news. This is the kind of situation where trying to soften the message just feels, well, it can feel manipulative. Honesty and support, those become your top priorities.
And this is a complete shift in focus. With the softest landing, you're not sandwiching anything. You deliver the news directly, but you wrap the entire experience in as much support as you can possibly give. The goal isn't to make the news sound better, it's to make the person feel supported through the experience of hearing it.
And that support, it can come in two main forms. On the one hand, you've got preemptive preparation. This is where you think ahead. You ask yourself, how are they going to react? What might they need? How can I actually help? You come in with a plan. The other path is responsive listening. You deliver the news, and then you stop. You just listen. And you tailor your support based entirely on their real in-the-moment reaction. Okay, so let's put it all together real quick. As you can see, these are two very different tools for two very different jobs. The sandwich effect, that's for your lower stakes, non-serious stuff. The technique is that simple good, bad, good structure, and the only goal is to soften the blow. But for really bad news, everything changes. The softest landing needs you to be direct, and the primary goal shifts completely, from softening the message to providing genuine support. Knowing which one to use is the most important step. So, we have our strategies, but what's the big idea here? What's the thread that ties all of this together? Well, it really comes down to understanding the nature of truth itself. Think of it like this. The bad news, that's the plain, unchangeable center. It's the simple cake. Our delivery, whether it's the sandwich effect or our supportive words, that's just the frosting, the sprinkles, the sweet wrapper. It doesn't actually change what's inside, but it completely changes the experience of receiving it.
There's this fantastic quote that just captures this idea so perfectly. Truth wears many costumes, but it's always the same person underneath. Whether you wrap that truth in praise or you deliver it with a supportive hug, the core fact doesn't change. Your job is to just choose the right costume for the right occasion.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. These moments, they're gonna happen. You are gonna have to deliver difficult news again. So the only question is, when that time comes, what costume are you going to choose for your truth? Is it gonna be a sandwich, or is it gonna be the softest landing possible? The choice is yours.